the lecturer for today's occasion and the discussion, Professors C. and my good friend Professor Eze. Professors of the House, professors are here. Let me use my voice as a point of contact to all professors. Professor Eze, my fellow students in the Faculty of Social Sciences, I greet each and every one of us and welcome us to this very auspicious event. While appreciating the Vice Chancellor who presented here, I want to say that there is no doubt that the women folk are already breaking the last minute. That's why today we have an active Vice Chancellor who is a woman in the University. And that's why some of us are looking forward to seeing Kamala Harris elected president of the United States of America. So that gradually this issue of women equal emancipation and equality, gender balancing will become something that is finally put to rest. Today's occasion, when families are facing livelihood challenges in multi dimensions. When I see some of our leaders say, well, go to bank, I have the bank is not safe. A lot of our leaders are talking about policemen in the bank, guiding the bank. And I wonder, we ordinary citizens, who will guide the bank for us to be able to go to the bank? Families cannot produce food. Foodstuffs are so expensive. I learned today that food is getting towards 1,000 naira. So, the challenges are enormous. The economic challenges are so enormous. But bigger than the men, I believe by the time of hope that sets this topic, they will be able to educate us on the best ways to adjust in order to survive times like this. And I have that in my mind that the discussion and other lecturers who bring up issues arising from the lecture will be able to dissect the lecture in such a manner that we, the students, and everyone of us here, will be much more impacted after this program. With these few words, I welcome all of us here, and all of us will listen attentively so that we can live here better than today.
The title was expected that with the professors and scholars here, fellow students, when we kind of review of what we have done, we will all ways contribute to the topic. So, different perspectives on this topic will be enjoyed to the chairman's visit. And I'm sure that we're going to take home a basket full of knowledge. Once more, I have to thank my dean for giving us this platform. And I want to thank all the professors of this faculty and all academics of this faculty, wonderful people, for their collaboration and support. I want to stop here for now because I am sure that we don't have enough time to exhaust all we have on this topic today. May I in a special way thank the presenter who is going to come forth in a short while. Because if we had no presenter with such a wonderful topic, we would not know how to start reading. He is the person who has prepared this book, and we are going to now start taking from parts of it. I want to thank you very much indeed. Distinguished colleagues, please relax, for I tell you to talk about it. God bless you all.
Thank you, my professor, Colloquium. And indeed, he is the presenter of this colloquium. He was the first lecturer, first presenter, and the chairman of the series. That's wonderful. Thank you, my prof, Igwe Professor Colloquium. Thank you for that wonderful revelation. Please, I think we shall fire on. The time is not on our side. And the next item here, I don't know whether my dean, His Eminence, Professor Collins, Frank Collins will come, doing extraordinary things extraordinary. I don't know, he's going to give his address to the Colloquium series. Prof, you're highly welcome. His Eminence, Professor Frank Collins will come, the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences in Nagasaki University, doing things extraordinary.
Thank you very much, David. Mr. Chairman, sir, our dear Honorable Oka, CEO of the Jogo Telecom Oka Anambra State, my chairman, I salute you, Mr. Wayne. I also salute and welcome our acting vice principal, Professor Carol Arinze Mobi, ably represented today by the Dean of the Student Affairs of our university, Professor Makodi Nahu. I salute you, my Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much for coming. All the distinguished members of the high table, the paper presenter, Professor UCO, the immediate past dean of the faculty and director today, we salute you, the discussants, the director of our Institute for Peace, Security and Development Studies, Judge Amanibo, I salute you. Lilia, I salute you. And permit me to welcome in a special way the Dean of the Faculty of Management Sciences. Some of you may not know that this is the man that is the chairman of UNICEF Committee of Deans. So he's the Dean of Deans in parentheses. So I salute you, Professor. Thank you very much. And then in a special way, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me recognize my organ in a special way. He is Professor Emeka Ezono. The man that made us, when we were students in this university, when the university was still Anambra State University of Science and Technology, he led with several developments and of course the movement of this university from Enugu and so many other things. We know the role he played. And here in the university as a staff, he has served severally in several positions, including the Dean of Student Affairs of this great university. He also served in Igbo State as the Resident Electoral Commissioner. So, I salute you. May I also inform you that he also served as a Vice Chancellor, the founding Vice Chancellor of the entire university, the same man. So he is here with us. So please may we appreciate him in a special way. I didn't invite him personally like some others, but they decided to come to be with us. So we salute you. Our distinguished professors here present and directors, I salute you. Our heads of departments here present, I salute you. We welcome you, dear colleagues, and of course all the students here present. My fellow students, I welcome you. So as one of them, people in my quarrel, just want to give you a very short speech. And I say that on behalf of all of us in the Faculty of Social Sciences, I respectfully welcome each and every one of you to the second colloquium of our faculty. I thank God for this great opportunity at a time like this. That it is almost difficult for workers to make it to their workplaces without borrowed funds. Hence, your presence today is an expression of your commitment to your precious call as scholars and dedication to your willingness to be part of the success story of our faculty. The faculty colloquium was initiated by our administration to provide the necessary intellectual platform for the faculty scholars to interrogate creative societal issues with a view to coming up with good suggestions on the way forward. And since February 2024, when we had our first acting, it has been a very success story. There is no doubt that today's topic, titled Addressing the Economic Crisis in Nigeria and Imperatives for Livelihood and Adjustment, is top-notch, topical and timely. And at a time, Nigerians are facing the most difficult experience in their lives. A time when the truth of our economic realities must be told for practical adjustment ideas and solutions to be provided. The worst economic condition of any nation is when the citizens, having realized the economic predicaments, still move around in borrowed opulence without survival strategies. Thank God that our paper presenter today is a bonfire scholar and energy economist. The faculty is committed to continue the expression of the frontiers of this intellectual harvest through organized publicity, communique, and publications at no cost to the presenters. As we settle down for this all important intellectual conviviality, may I thank the acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Carol Arizu-Modi, who is heavily represented today by Professor Macaulay Nabu, for her great support and achievements since her assumption of office. Permit me to also thank the Chairman, the Education, Chief Sandy Bishop, the CEO, the Joe Gold Hotel and Suites, for accepting to be with us. We thank all our guests here present, professors, heads of departments, our individual lecturers, our wonderful students and leadership of FOSA, and of course the Faculty Colloquium Committee led by Professor Harris Obimosu for a work well done. It is our hope that in 2 months' time we shall all converge again for another intellectual conviviality. Kindly relax as we tap into the intellectual generosity of an energy economist, Professor U.C. Ogu, who has been committed to joining us in doing ordinary things extraordinary. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, thank you. This is a wonderful tradition by the doing ordinary things extraordinary. Thank you. And he said something that I want to re-echo. He said, for some of he's going to interrogate intellectual generosity of energy economics, something like that. I think the guest lecturer will do more exposition on that when he starts. Thank you, my dean, for that rendition. Then the next thing on the agenda here, without wasting much time, is the address by the acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Carol Harrison, will be ably represented by Professor Biredu Makodi. No, Professor Makodi Biredu Nabu. The Dean of President Affairs. Prof, you are highly welcome to the... No, I said it the other way around. Professor Makodi Biredu Nabu. I think I'm very correct now, Prof.
Yeah, thank you.
Prof, you are highly welcome to the podium. Render your very wonderful address by the Vice Chancellor, Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Carol Harrison. Thank you, my VC. You're welcome to the podium. Thank you.
My deputy, Frank Collins, we have been compatriots in so many respects. I'm not surprised that many of you so continue to do what you're doing on the conference. I'm chairman of the occasion. I greet you. It's a long time from local government politics those days. You're welcome. I don't know where to for the high table. But Professor Ejomo occupies a very special position for us who are much younger professors. He is a professor who deserves to be a professor. Because we know there are some, there are some who deserve more to be professor, and they are the professors. When I was at the institute, I invited him to the lecture, and still go to the lecture and see the deliver it. I thank you very much. We know you continue to be around to mentor many of us. PBC, I greet you, indefatigable professor, and now I'm sure there are more things on the way for you. The presenter of today's lecture, Professor Collins. It's a long time. We start the same time as I'm speaking as my colleague now. We start speaking as the VC. We start at the same time as heads of department.
Excuse me.
And it was a platform of thought, but we succeeded. Thank you very much for the cooperation we enjoyed. Professor Cornelius, you are going to discuss the paper. I know as a communicator, you always find something to talk about, so I'm not surprised at this. Professor Jaja, the director of this institute and the immediate past head of the Department of Cultural Science. You have come a long way. Sometimes I call you other way. It's not for no reason. I greet you. Well, I'm called upon to make a speech on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of UNAM, Acting Vice Chancellor of UNAM University. For me, my name is Makawati. That is the correct word. But sometimes I will give you put on for the His Excellency, the Acting Vice Chancellor, is also a double barrel surname. I think it's a movie. So it's not an accident. I do not know. But I just want to respond to a few things. They have asked me to extend greetings to the Faculty of Social Science. He says that the faculty is doing her proud. And especially for the Indian food, also in the faculty. He tells me to tell her that she knows that you are there. And then that it gives her joy. That in the Faculty of Social Sciences, there are so many women. He asked me to remind you that she is not the only Vice Chancellor female, that there are so many of them. That even within Anambra State, there is another female Vice Chancellor who is our own Vice Chancellor is a lawyer who deals in human rights. But the one at the is a mass communicator. And one of us, I'm sure you remember, is also a female. And up there at Kogi State University, there's also one of us. I say one of us because I am a political scientist. And the Vice Chancellor of Kogi State University is also a female and a political scientist. So we also do. And then at the University of Calabar, there's also another female Vice Chancellor. So in a sense, that is a professor from Florence Obi, Bank. And so many women are already there. And okay, even at Abuja. So it's no longer the thing is leveling, just like the chairman talked about. It's also already leveling. So very soon there will be no talk of marginalization or so the sky is really the limit for any woman who struggles very hard. And for the men folk, you are already there, and she's happy that the men folk are doing well, and that is why he has called me to come and represent her. The topic for today is very apt because the economic situation in the country is not only there, but the fact that it is there is not the issue. But the fact is that we don't seem to be involved, in fact, addressing it, not talk of the right strategies. Some there are strategies, but some other things there is no strategy to address it. And that is what the thing has captured when he says the worst economic condition of any nation is when the citizens are having realized that their economic predicaments will move around in good openness without survival strategies. There are going to be so much openness even the needs of scarcity. But here in the university, we are trying to manage the small resources that is available. Also, it has asked me to remind you that her stay at the agriculture is also a real system, just like John the Baptist. She's trying to prepare the ground so that the new versions of will emerge at the right time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor. He said it's a wake-up call for women to brace up. Women can be elected. It can be a vice chancellor, it can be a prime minister, it can be a president. As said by our Vice Chancellor, the acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Carol Arinze Umobi. Women, it's a call on you, all of you to brace up. We can do this nation. We can. Thank you so much. We can, I think so. That's fine. Before I proceed, please permit me to make some recognitions. I can see the HOD of the Psychology Department, Professor Anthony Obiajelojelo. Please go to the audience. And I also see the Deputy Director of the UMS Center for Disciplinary Studies, Associate Professor Bona Uzo. Please, can you? And I can also recognize Associate Professor Chukwemeka Okoye, Deputy Director, Center for Career and Development, the immediate past head of Department of Psychology. Is he here? If it is, yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Without missing words, I think we are nearing to the advent of this very interesting topic of the day, an interesting colloquium topic. A series addressing the economic crisis in Nigeria and the imperatives for livelihood adjustment by the great Professor Collins Uche Mwogu, Professor UCC Mwogu. But before then, we must do the needful. The needful must be done. And if you look at item number 8, may I beg your permission, Chairman, to go ahead? Or do I hesitate a little bit? Okay. The item number 8, because we are behind schedule, is a short introduction of a paper presenter by no other person, Associate Professor of Finance Economics, no other person other than my dear brother, Associate Professor Chris Ula Kamo, the immediate past head of the department and the immediate past Deputy Director of Business, Music Business School. You are welcome to the podium. But before that, please let me recognize the former rector of the Federal Polytechnic, Professor Gardino, and the former dean of the faculty. In fact, I came to this school when he was the dean of the faculty. I can remember. He was among the people that interviewed me. The first of interviewer, 15 panel, he was there. He interviewed me. Prof, you are welcome. You are welcome to this grand finale. The former rector, Federal Polytechnic, Professor Godwin Ono. You are welcome, sir. A professor of quantum politics. You are welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, MC. You have been doing well. I just want to build on the established protocols. The protocol has been established, and there is no need for me to deviate from that protocol. But I want to thank the Dean of our great faculty for instituting this. God bless you, sir. You are doing well. I will go straight with the assignment of the day. And that assignment for me is a great one. Ordinarily, I am not supposed to present this citation because the presenter is like a father to me. He supervised my PhD. And he has given me a lot of encouragement. But I just want to beg God to permit me to do this. May I simply invite Professor Uche Collins to please be on standby. Professor Uche Collins is a professor of economics, energy economics, social policy, and development economics. He's a Paul Harris Fellow. He's a fellow International Society of Sustainable Development. He is a full member of Nigerian Economic Society.
Sorry, can you talk to the students too?
And full member Energy Society of Nigeria. He is from OPC in Imo State of Nigeria. He was a former director of international, or currently director of international collaborations and linkages of our great university, Numbers University. He is a former director. He is a former faculty of social.
of our great university, former survey of our Faculty of Social Sciences, former faculty senator, former HOD of the Economics Department, former coordinator of General Studies for Faculty of Social Sciences. He has an extensive knowledge in economics, preferably in economics and social policy. He has a research capacity spanning from the areas of microeconomics, game theory, energy economics, public sector economics, project evaluation, and public finance. He has taught these courses at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. He has mentored a lot of undergraduates, postgraduates, and specifically he has supervised over 50 PhDs to his students and uncountable master students of economics using different approaches and different techniques of economics. He has served as an ad hoc member of the NUC accreditation team and has visited many universities in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Please, let's put our hands for him. Let's put our hands for him, please. He has assessed a good number of readers, or what we call the associate professors and full professors of different universities across Nigeria. He has published extensively in both local and international journals that are of standard. He has been a consultant to the MDG projects, Newman projects, and LDG projects. He has served as a council member of several professional organizations, including the Association of Energy Economics, the affiliate of International Association for Energy Economics. He has also served as a visiting fellow and a research fellow of our own there, African Economic Society. He is a member of the Technical Working Group, Business Environment Subgroup of the 2021-2025 National Development Plan of our dear country, Nigeria. He has attracted projects worth billions of naira to the university, while serving at the head of the Department of Economics in terms of books to the library from Fidelity Bank. And that is true to time. Because as a head teacher of economics, I was like a boy to him. And I learned a lot. That was why when I started economics, it was as easy as ABCD to me. So he attracted a lot of projects to the department. During his tenure as a dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, he attracted a building, and that building is ongoing now. In fact, it is nearing completion. A faculty auditorium of 700 seating capacity that is ongoing now. At the completion of this project, it will house 20 offices for professors and senior academics. The administration of Professor Charles Simone permitted that he should be taken to the Faculty of Medicine. But he pleaded that he should also be here. So what is going on at Navy, what is going on here? Concept of Professor Uche Collins. As a dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, he donated seats for staff and students from Guaranteed Trust Fund.
And that was a good thing. He attracted the seats. As the dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, he distributed 10,000 naira as palliative to the non-paid staffers of the Faculty of Social Sciences. He single-handedly enabled the establishment of the International Center for Regional Integration and Trade Research. He single-handedly led to the establishment of that center. That center is in collaboration with Afrexim Bank. And he's spearheading everything about the center. He also coordinated the Institute of Social Policy, a UNICEF project at University. As the Director of International Linkages and Collaboration, he has enabled the signing of MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding, with many international organizations. Finally, but not the least, the Portuguese language is one of these childbirths, and it has been signed for undergraduate and postgraduate programs that will eventually enable the students to travel to all the way to Brazil. Join me to welcome to the podium and to deliver the auspicious topic to us on addressing the economic crisis in Nigeria and the imperative for livelihood unto adjustments. Can we put our hands for him, please? Okay. Thank you very much. Very good. Members of the High Table of my order. Chief Professor of Almighty God, always the word of the we work for ourselves, for God, and for man. Do you see, my dear friend, my sweetheart, talk of you. Indeed, so I'm calling myself. You are doing things very well. Ubukoka, the double star, or high fellow, the man that makes his mind. Meditate. I don't want. Like I say, watching an exit. What I've got China, like I say, okay, my dear, my everything, God bless you. Meditate. Like I say, the Jagaban of dear friends, Lord, my wonderful friends, I can see your face, your faces. We're here today to rub minds about the problems that are facing every one of us. Today, Nigeria is in dire crisis. Everybody is feeling the pinch. So we are Christians. In those days, said the money is the love of money is the root of all evil.
So nobody wants to be identified as a money person. So we started studying. We want to do this or that. So after some time, they told us that money answers all things. So we now abandon the money as a root of all evil. As anything as money that answers all things. When money was the root of all evil, the effort of everybody is to produce. So now when money answers all things now, money becomes the store of value. So the topic of address is addressing the economic crisis in Nigeria and the imperative for livelihood and justice. All those who were born from 1970 up to now may not know what those who experienced 1967, 69, and 70 experienced. And of course, by 67, 69, 70, it transformed the whole of the Eastern Zone into being resilient, trying to die until when the problem is over. Because the Bible says it will soon come to pass. So that's what we have today. So Nigeria is currently grappling with this crisis. And this crisis centers on money and foreign exchange, which is playing a wonderful role. I want to see we are experiencing unstable prices, high cost of living, volatile exchange rates, energy inaccessibility, the price is so high, production bottleneck is working. So we need to talk about what are some of the root causes. So we can see the country is heavily dependent on oil. The economy is not that. Sorry about that.
Every time.
So that's part of the crisis. So right. The state going away. We are one of the reasons why we are suffering. We go away, the parents are suffering, some die post long because we want to make work in them. Why the election is going on? We go away, we see what we are seeing. Now, the economy is 2005. We are monocultural. So, and the diversification area includes service, entertainment, agro-industry, manufacturing. It's not happening. So, we are enter into crypto transaction. Our friend abroad do crypto survive. Other remote factors causing this is volatility and transparency. The exchange rate market faces challenges, transparency, challenges, and volatility. Volatility means instability. Transparency, people are engaged in sharing things, nothing is going on. Then even in the case of tax, the government of India want to tax everybody, squeeze blood out of us. To the extent that sometimes they want to charge you tax for parking your car in their house. It's a proposal, but I want to find a way to squeeze and foreign exchange scarcity. The foreign exchange scarcity is not that the money that the central bank cannot do. Because everybody wants to make profits and do rent, so they liaise with those in the black market. They ensure that what's supposed to go to the lead producers, they now make food from it. So the background here, actually underscore the role of money in our capitalist society. What is money? A medium of exchange which facilitates transaction of goods and services, a widely accepted form of payment, transaction within an economy, and this elicits some critical questions. So, why is it that money can't support the value of goods people need? Why? You have money, you can buy anything. One, theoretically, would say that money is limited in supply. Of course, you can't flood money because people need money. The supply of money is vertically determined. Then price discussion. Prices of essential goods and services, they rise faster than wages of the general level of income. Of course, those of us who are paying salaries will suffer. You go to markets with 10,000 naira, you buy 1,000 naira goods. You begin to wonder whether somebody has stolen your money. And also income inequality. We are not all earning equal income. Some earn billions of naira, some earn 1,000 naira. We all end up in the market as consumers. Buying something. You know, a lot of us who have their children in university. The restaurant where I go and eat and pay 2,000 for 3,000. The same restaurant that my children who are in university go and eat and play cinema. And the money is coming from one person, the parent, whose income is not increasing at this cost. So it calls for another thing we call the reason also why money cannot support is what we call market failure. What is market failure? The supply and demand determines the price at which goods are sold. But sometimes this thing fails. It doesn't work that way any longer because of monopolies and externalities. Certain things change. It does appear that if at the point when maybe Dangote alone supplies cement, it's a monopoly. So they can determine the price. In which case, even what's available in the purchase is not there. So we call it market. There are also non-market factors, such as some goods and services like healthcare, education, and public infrastructure may have intrinsic value to society beyond their market price. So this is the reason why sometimes money becomes a suspect. So when we begin to address all this, it often requires the economies a combination of tools, where I talk about monetary policy, fiscal policy, regulation, social problems. All these are aimed at ensuring economic stability ethnic time. When you begin to talk about ethnic superiority, you know, that for instance, those in the West say that Igbo must go. And when they trace the person who is propagating it, the passport is Vanuatu. You know? So what did people do? Then if you go in the north, you see what happened. You find out that those who are not even pure Hausa or Fulani, they are migrating downwards. And that's why the cost of living in all countries, Anambra State and Imo State, we keep skyrocketing. They are running to service every day. Our Enyaga, that is our tricycle, and they are overtaking. That if you ask them to go, they'll say no. Because even they are purely agrarian, they can't farm. If they go to farm, they don't come back. And the Fulani people who see them as those who can restore that anytime. So they are coming back to service. So thereby putting pressure on our system. So it's a problem, institutional problem, and government knowing that if this Eastern zone is not stabilized, it will give better problems. Then they introduce stabilization system under their social system, militarizing the system, while the military try to survive now have to survive with the kidnappers. Because there's so much money in kidnapping. And the only place you can kidnap is those where they have much money. So you see, now what can be done to address the economic challenges? We propose a comprehensive and sustained efforts that go beyond the implementation of the policies and addressing the structural constraints, including governance and social capacity, promoting inclusive growth, fostering a conducive business environment for private sector investment, implementing policy measures coherent, temporary, and with a long-term perspective to address Nigeria's economic system. Now, yes. Now, what are the indicators of likelihood that because measuring the drop in likelihood levels in the area, it can be very complex. So what is likelihood? It encompasses various aspects of well-being, including income, employment, access to basic services, and other services. So we're going to look at multi-dimensional poverty. Nigeria faces multi-dimensional poverty, which is essentially on monetary measures. Even household, not monetary poor, monetary poor, the struggle to have monetary. So we have food security. Food security. There are protests, you see, they open the food bank, people are running with food. So storing food, people are dying of hunger. So, and when there is the essence of having food store is to ensure that when things are hard, government will release some so that people can have a prayer. But even the government that is meant to protect the system don't even have the barometer to feel when people are dying. Because you see, the protest became impotent because already the white people and the government have told them no matter what people protest, don't change their position. Already so opposition. So poverty is over. Now in the case of Nigeria, we talk about health and well-being, healthcare access. Despite challenges, accessible healthcare is crucial for overall well-being. Yes, also have NHIS. If you go to a facility, they will give you the drug they have. And the one they don't have, they ask you to package and paracetamol. Nobody tells them that paracetamol is a liver killer. Kills the liver. As if there's a conspiracy between the gut and the rest. The complex is black man. Every condition to be used. So don't get the nutrition as sanitation, addressing malnutrition and ensuring clean water and sanitation. They are all essential. Is it delivered? Education and human capital. So what is wrong with the education system? These experts here, when they go abroad, they only beat the white man in all education. Okay, it's not true. You're a chemist of Nigeria, go to the Western system, you excel, you do very, very well. But they come back home here and say, oh, where is this man from? Is it not this person? Standard. They make sure that they don't do anything. So people now migrate. Quality of education. Who cares? They even mess education up. Sometimes, somewhere in this university, people were educated in university as lecturers, breaking all the rules or departments, not allowing the schools to know who and what are on them. And they say, no, train them. That we train them. So their process is to break anything that will ensure quality down for whatever. So there we are. Human capital development. Yes, skills development. Another things, a lot of them, basic infrastructure, they are not there, electricity, another essentials. Then you have the north-south divide, they can't persist. Even though we are suffering here, try and go to north, cross middle belt, go to far north. Nobody will tell you to run back from here. Even as I say in the west, Igbo should go. Go inside the core west. Nobody will tell you to come back from here. Because it's there. In 1987, we were driven away from the North Zaire. He took the enemy of Zaire and come and beg the Obi of Oja. Please let this come back. You can find something. You know? Because you don't know what you have to do. So it's not. So, what can we say? In agriculture, yes, the North used to be the food basket for them, but it's not now. The politicians have make it impossible. So how can we address this multi-generational poverty? So let us talk about what precautionary advice that can be given. Some precautionary advice. Assess their finance. Dear friends, brothers and sisters, take a close look at their income and expenses and even savings. Create a budget to manage your finances effectively, knowing that inflation will do that on the back. Student students. So gone are those days when you go to church, they'll now, because some church leaders also want to make money. They think that those who God has blessed so much to come and give offering. If you make your budget very, very well, before you leave the house to give offering, you already know what you're going to give to the church. Because if you step in and break the budget, you go back to poor. So if you make your budget, you're able to know what to give, so that you live and let you. Then emergency fund. Please prioritize building an emergency fund. Having a financial cushion can help you navigate unexpected expenses during tough time. Tough time comes, and our wives think that our husbands are magicians. Yes, how are we magicians? Sometimes our wives say we don't disclose what we have. What kind of disclose money is working for the time when emergency will come. Children will go back to school. Then I want this, I want that. Then the magician capacity of the man will do. What are we doing with the money? And people are safe alive. So that is it, the magnetic form. Even you, sometimes keep some money where you forget that there's money. Try and keep some money and forget that there's money there. When hardship comes, at a point you don't know how to go, where to go, the money will do what? We are addressing survival. Now, foreign exchange awareness. Please stay informed about foreign exchange rates. If you need foreign currency, such as education fees, and medical expenses, explore legal channels. And what do you do? When you are faced with emergency, the tendency is to go to parallel market. But if you foresee that emergency can go all the time, you keep your ears and eyes wide open with legal something so that you'll be able to approach how to get it. Even those of us who publish, these days is not the time when you begin to count the quantity of publication you're going to do in a year. You can do one quality publication one a year, in which case you now save money to remain alive and publish it. Yes. Then you work together. So when you publish one, you know one is one. Because there's no money. You can't source money from it. Because those people who you are paying also need money. Everybody needs money. It will get the point where you don't have anywhere to go. You go to trust yourself. So that's why I have to keep your eyes. Now, parallel markets. Parallel markets are those outside people who change money in the market. How do they even get money? They connect with the bank and bring it. That's why it's called parallel market that is not conditioned by market forces. So they make more money and return. So there's opening for them to collaborate. And I want it for those who are facing emergency. Try as much to avoid it. Now, what precautionary advice that can be given to Nigerian people? Continue. Diversify income sources. Explore side hustles. Consider additional income streams beyond your primary job. Freelancing, online business, or part-time work can provide stability. Rather, they will show you that with this bag, you can fill with manure, line it by your wall, and plant water leaf or yam or anything. Water leaf, which is nutritious. I think my organ person is a producer, is an expert in this thing that is called farming. So if you want to measure how much money you sell as produce, collect those things and go to market and say how much it is. And some of these things continent is what the body needs to survive the next day. So freelancing, these are the days when you are not, you don't need to be ashamed of doing even odd job. You have the strength. Don't be ashamed. Our students, you see, they say we need cleaners who can swim. It doesn't remove anything from you if you can clean the place and get some money and dress up and come to work. We really need to do anything. So that is it. Now, on inflation, we invest wisely. If you have savings, explore investment options that can outpace inflation. Consult financial advice to make informed decisions. So please, this is the time when we have to work together. Don't go alone. When you have a problem, have people to discuss it together. Now, go away from a lot of advice. Asset allocation. Diversify your investment areas across different asset classes, stock, bond, whatever. Yes. That's what we call portfolio management. Portfolio management actually is, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets down and 2 here. Each of them is portfolio. So I will collect my money and put in each of those portfolios. Yes. So that I can tell them there's no money in this pocket. When I finish this one, I can go to this pocket or that pocket. By the time when you have done that, you have gone around the system and continue to fill the pocket. But portfolio management is a process where you put your money in different pockets, different pockets, so that it can help you. So, for that on precautionary measure, community support, solidarity. Community can provide emotional and practical support, share experiences, tips, and resources. I know that the reason why we go is that some neighbors and friends can betray, but not all neighbors and friends can betray. You must have your own neighbor where you share issues. So you can now find a way to escape. That is community. Join societies. I'm a Rotarian. Sometimes when you go there and you stay, you solve some kind of stress. And also churches too. You go to churches that form community. Not those churches that exploit you. You form community like it used to be in the old time religion. You discuss things and find a way to move forward as a church. So these are communities. Now, local initiatives. Participate in community living programs such as food banks or skill sharing networks. Food banks. Japan is a great nation today because they don't waste food. Japan don't waste food. When food, after eating, there's a leftover, they use foil and foil it, rice or garlic, and preserve it so that they make prepare it for another food. So you don't waste food. The food you waste is a meal to the neighbor that hasn't got food. And that is what we talk about when you have local networks, places, I'm finishing, don't worry, that's good. Now, new policies, keep track of economic news, keep track of economic news, government policies and reforms, understand how they impact their daily life. You see, if there's no electricity, use radio to hear what is going on. Information rules the world. Sometimes some of this, most of this mass market people, they will go and think that today crayfish is this, today tomato is 3 for 1,000, onions this and that, this and that. Then if you have onions or tomato that you will be wasting, you don't have to keep it, And I give kudos to our wives. Women are wonderful economists. Women are great. I'll commend you men to do very well because the money I'll use to protect my friends in the piano, my wife can manage it for 2 weeks and feed the house. These are those women who are not pernicious, who don't compare vanities, but women who want to survive the family. And that's why we try to tell our dear child so they can learn how to conserve, not be wasteful. Now, that's about this. Advocates engage with local organizations advocating for economic reforms and justice. That is what's involved. That's what is involved. You have to engage with them. Now, debt management. Please, when you go and borrow money, and that money you borrow is the money that attracts high interest rate, try the money you can clear it. You have, if you have loans for credit card, focus on paying high interest balances first. Because the thought of it can even kill you. You wake up and say, nah, I'm not getting back on it. Then also, the other one, negotiate with creditors. Communicate. If I'm owing you or you're owing me now, you go, all right, what do you think about here this time? Can you please, you negotiate your creditors. So you can get alive. Now, help and well-being. Prioritize health. Many economists take care of your physical and mental health. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and self-management are crucial. In fact, somebody said the greatest gift God gave to man is health. If you live short, you are depriving yourself of opportunity of experiencing all. God is good, and He decreed that we shall live our tenure. But when we now do not prioritize health, you see people slumping. The young men at 35 were slumping, and those who keep away throughout the night, they were slumped and died. Because the tiny line between life and death. So please take care of your health. Women do that, but men, I pity you men, because men don't even internalize their problem. Because every sickness that kills anybody must give you a warning. Every sickness that kills anybody must give you warning. But we often neglect and forget about it. You don't need to tell you about it as sick. So the announcing you are sick, always complain. But when you have friends, I said, my dear, you will carry to them, you want to come back. Oh, what are you going to hear? I say, you could do that, so I said, no, you can't go. So tell your problem so that we can live. We want ourselves to be seeing each other. The other day we lost was a very nice guy. He's painful, and we say, if you socialize, you will be. And sometimes our wife don't want us to socialize with other men. Yeah, that's the problem. So you want to make your wife happy, you go home and say, men, please try and tell your problem to your fellow men. You get you don't, your wife own you, your friends also own you, everybody own you. Because women communicate with themselves. Women communicate, even when a woman goes to have sex somewhere, and that sex is not, you go and tell my friend that this place I had that time. Before we know it, it's so personal. But men don't complain. We die, we don't die. So please share your issues. I said, prioritize the health. Assess health care very well, and you'll be okay. A man or a woman who is alive today can see the wonderful change of God. So, just a minute. Remember that economic crises are challenging, but practice steps can help in getting action. Therefore, seek professional advice when needed. Support one another. Remember to reach out and show love during these difficult times. Avoid anger. When they walk away, it's rubbish. Don't be. Even if you are provoked, cool down. Avoid anger. And all these occasions, know where you go, you are making it happen. Go away from there. Engage in exercise. Tell your problems. Engage in agriculture. And think and stay positive.
Please, may we have a standing ovation for the lecturer for today's colloquium, Professor Collins Michel Moro. Prof, please, can we sit? This is a wonderful rendition by our dear Professor of International Economics, Professor UCC Wo. Prof, you said something that struck my memory. Prof, you know, I still keep awake writing one paper or the other every night to break the genes of the impact factor journals. But what you said now, I think I was for better to see tomorrow. Is that also, I won't give myself again. I must see tomorrow, Prof. And he said something. He said, keep your money where you will need it in time of what? Emergency. Publish to lecturers here. Publish one quality paper every year. Save money to remain alive and publish more papers in the future. Very important. Very, very important. Prof, we love you. Thank you so much for this wonderful exposition. And he said something. Not only economic reasons. When you have problem, when you have what we call in a state of psychological stupor, you should consult a clinical psychologist. If you are in a state of psychological hopelessness, in the midst of economic situation, try to consult. We have so many here, clinicians, they will direct you. Thank you so much. Prof. Yeah, thank you. I think we should follow up. We need to move to the discussant item. Okay, my chairman. Okay, thank you. My chairman, may I beg your permission to call on to the discussant of this very topic, this title. His other person than Professor Cornelius Diego, who is Professor of Electronic Communication, Broadcasting and New Media. But before that, please let me recognize some people here. May I recognize Professor Giuseppe Gueme, the former council member, the former director of Colloquium, and so former Prof. You are welcome. I hope you are not busy. Oh, okay. You're welcome. May I recognize Professor Alawani Bettina Matthias. He is the director, he is the FM, former HOD, sociology, professor of gender studies, Department of Social Anthropology, Namibia Azikiwe University. You're welcome. Deputy Director, Music FM. Welcome, Professor Alawani Bettina Matthias. You're welcome, Mark. Yes. Professor Ukweze is on the Department of Mass Communication, Deputy Director of Music 91.1 FM, immediate past HOD Mass Communication Department. You are welcome, sir. Matakwacha of Okolo. No.
Thank you, the moderator. I would have said, stand on existing protocol. Let me take 1 second to salute those seated here who have one way or another impacted my new life as a professor. The active vice chancellor represented by no other person, Professor Nabu, Makoni Bierenu Nabu, the chairman of the occasion, a man of many parts, away from the living room. Then, my teachers in those days, year 1 as a student in this university, Professor FCA Zon, who may have forgotten that he taught me GS 104, History and Philosophy of Science. And Professor Dominic Ono, who may also have forgotten that he taught me PSC 101 and 103.
introduction to political science, input and output devices. That those days. Thank you so much. Then Professor Wu, when I was asked to discuss this paper, I said, economics. And two things gave me courage. One, that far back those days, as an undergraduate, Professor A.U.J. of St. Memory taught us economic growth of Nigeria. And all what Professor Wu said today was what he was saying that time. We didn't know it will deteriorate to this level that we are today. If I open my notes of a go-to history then, all these things, he was talking of austerity measure and the rest of them, which Professor Wu also said here, as which then, without knowing that then 10 naira can take you to school, you eat abacha if you get and that change. But now you can't drink pure water with 10 naira. That is, these are the pictures Professor Wu painted for us today. The level of hardship we face in the country due to the deterioration of money value. Then, another thing as a communicator, we always pride ourselves that we know a bit about a lot. Professor Bezos said, no, we know a bit about a lot. We can take an astronomer to the moon, an astronaut to the moon, and interview them, and bring the language to the lowest common multiple. So, today, we are faced with this timely topic addressing the economic crisis in Nigeria and the imperatives for livelihood adjustment. He hinted on economic crisis in Nigeria. Give us the main causes. He listed a number of causes. Painted a picture of the real indicators of this crisis, where we find ourselves as a result of this crisis. Went further to advocate what is called comprehensive approaches to come out from this economic quagmire, and gave a lot of precautionary or advice on how to cope. So, my job is simple to just hit at some of the key points he mentioned, at least for a recall, so that which can stimulate debate. I won't take much of your time here so that we can have debates about this stuff and explain how it pinches us, how this economic crisis pinch us, because we use ES, crisis, in the plural aspect, because it is multi-dimensional. Then, by way of recall, we can recall that he said that there are immediate and remote causes of this economic crisis, which he hinged on unstable prices of goods, high cost of living, very unpredictable exchange rates, dollar 1.5 today, tomorrow 1.7. Next day there will be magic, they say it has reduced 3 naira. So these things, and he also pointed at energy inaccessibility, that the energy crisis in Nigeria, fuel, electricity, and the rest of them, has further compounded the problem. And this energy crisis, he also said, translates to production bottlenecks in the manufacturing sector. Then, we have the factors, our heavy dependence on oil.
heavy dependence on oil, which he told us has been the sole upfront for 40 years by a former president. Then he also highlighted the issue of lack of diversification, economic diversification. We need to diversify. And remember when Obasanjo came with Ezekwesili and the rest of them, they say non-oil sector, diversification into the non-oil sector. I don't think whether that emphasis is there when solid minerals and all of the ministry were all created. So diversification, engaging in fraudulent crypto transactions and the rest of them, some of this. Then tax policies, that is the tax concessions. Sometimes taxes are paid and are not accounted for, are not used. Those of what I pay as tax, anytime I'm paid now, can buy a bag of rice for me. A bag of my tax in this university, anytime I'm paid, can buy a bag of rice. So multiply it by 12. The government is going in 12 bags of rice. The governor of the state that collects the tax owes me 12 bags of rice. How many do I get at the end of the day? Don't ask me. Then, even remote costs, foreign exchange scarcity, and scarcity of the almighty dollar. He told us what dollar can do to our economy, that even the shocks dollar have over there, whatever shortfall or inconsistencies in dollars are brought to us and we inherit them 100% and add it to our own domestic financial problems of naira and the rest of them. So then he talked about money, limited, that all the discussions around cost immediate and remote causes. He said that all of them revolve around money. All of them revolve around money. That revolve around money. That without money, there's nothing we can do. My lecturer in my teacher in secondary school, our Adam Smith then we call him. He told us when he was talking about money, he defined money that as what money can buy. He said money is what money can buy. That was his definition when I was in secondary school, 1988. He defined economics. Money as what money can buy. When you have 1 million naira and you cannot buy something worth of 500,000 3 years ago, your real income is 1 million naira? No. So I'm beginning to appreciate that is the definition of money. That money is what money can buy. So there is nothing you do with money when it is virtually useless. You cannot buy anything with it. So he said money value has been limited in supply, low liquidity, as they call it. There is price distortion, there is income inequalities, there are market failures. Every time the lack of a perfect market, oligopolies and externalities here and there, all of them weakening the value of naira. Then he said that these challenges, he propounded solutions for these challenges, these immediate and remote challenges, that they can be controlled by a combination of monetary policy, fiscal policy, regulation, and social programs in form of social safety nets. When we talk about monetary, that is part of the problem, part of the crisis. That is energy crisis. Is that not so? That the money
such a way that supports minimum risk. Government regulation of finances should be such that permits inclusiveness and a kind of perfect market. Then taxation. We also talked about taxation, that taxes should have human face, and that taxation should be, all the rules of taxation should be followed. Then he now gave other
Thank you. I'm back. I think we can now communicate effectively. Then, I will quickly go to why these economic policies that are propounded by the author here are not working. He said, why not working? One, that there are implementation challenges. It's not just about bringing out policies, good as they may look on the surface, but what is the implementation like? This morning I was watching the television debates about some of these policies, like the local government funds politics. There were arguments how so long as court has ruled, the government also moved it to a kind of committee that will, I know, I'm being so fast. So the implementation challenges are there. The implementation is not fully always followed. There are always policy inconsistencies, policy reversals, and the rest of them. There are socio-political factors that also cause lack of the success of some of these policies to nip the problem in the bud. Then he went further to paint the picture of how this crisis manifests in us. How the crisis manifests in us. One, through multidimensional poverty. He talked about a lot about poverty. The poverty rate in Nigeria, 47.3. About 98 million people in Nigeria are in abject poverty. Out of 200 million that we say we have in Nigeria, about 98 million are in abject poverty. Poverty here does not mean the one I and you are into, but the poverty of affluency, no food to eat. In fact, food, he said so much about food, how food scarcity has exacerbated the hardship, how it manifests in us. Of course, if you don't eat, how do you even come to sit down here? Then he talked about lack of affordable health care, lack of affordable health care, lack of human capital development, education system, where we train manpower are in the brink of collapse. Budget 26% of national income to education. The government always says no. Every time they are at war with ASU, please budget substantial amount of money to education. When the education system is working effectively, it will have a lot of value chain the value chain, the education value chain translates to everything we do in the society. Talk of health, talk of infrastructure development, talk of innovation, science and technology, innovations, all of them. If we have a functional educational system, even the money, what the education sector will innovate for the society can be exported. Then he also talked about infrastructure gap and so many other things. Then let me conclude by saying the precautionary measures, the advices he gave, that we should always assess our finances before we engage in any expenditure. Don't, out of a kind of shame, come and say, I will, before you students that are sitting here patiently, I will give all of you 10,000 where you go. When I don't have, if you search me now, you can't get 1,000. So assess your income before you make pronouncements. He talks extensively about emergency fund. People, and praise the women, how women are good at that. And now men have been to one day, how many of us have it? At the extreme, when you are pushed to the wall, you break that box. And whatever you see there, you start using. Then he talked about being aware of foreign exchange transaction, being a foreign exchange, forex awareness, not patronizing parallel markets. Sometimes you can run into fraudulent transactions that might even take you to police, or you lose your money. Those who say crypto and water, and all these people that sell dollars, sometimes they can be fast and we think they are not. Then he also talked about, he emphasized social safety nets. That is, government should come to our aid by bringing out policies that support social security, not these ones that are always over politicized, trader money and all that goes to party loyalists, and not the real poor woman looking for what to use to buy a penta of garri. Then, by conclusion, the major takeaway, I have to read it, because when I saw it, that was the last sentence, the last conclusion. He said, seek, no, this was fine, we talked before I said I read it. He said, seek professional advice when needed. Seek professional advice when needed. When you are in trouble. It's not when you are ill, you go and engage in self-medication. When you have financial issues, go to those that know best. If you have cardiac issues, you go to my moderator, who is Associate Professor of Cardiac and Mental Health. So, clap for him. Then he also said that we should support one another. Students, are you there? Support one another. Some of the people sitting near you are not from parents that are like you. Your parents, if your parents send 10,000 to you and you see somebody trying to die because he cannot buy donut, please, from that 10,000, buy donut for that person. Buy a sachet water for that person to drink. Is that clear? Students, I'm talking to you specifically. Support one another. Akani nararira. At all. Remember to reach out. Remember to reach out. God will say, show love during difficult times. Show love to one another. during difficult times. Avoid anger. Anger. Those in psychology will tell you that it is a disease condition when you are unnecessarily angry and anxiety, neurosis, that it is minimize it. Those of us in mass communication that teach entertainment tells you that when you frown, if you frown for 5 minutes, it reduces, it brings down your aging by 5 years. Do you hear me? If you frown now, the muscles of your face will shrink, and your tendency to age will be faster than when you laugh. When you laugh, you increase your aging. So if you want your face to remain the way it is, always laugh and smile. Is that clear? Then engage in exercise. Exercise should be regulated, especially for those of us who are adults, he said. Then agriculture. Last sentence. Agriculture. Going to farm. If Professor Soludo is talking about wherever you are, convert it to a farm and stay positive. Power of positive thinking. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's thank Professor Cornelius Diego Ukwes, Professor of Electronic Communication, Broadcasting and New Media, for that wonderful discussion. It is very incisive indeed. Yeah, I know. Please, and he said something that let me quickly say. He said, if you have a functional educational system, our economy will have a quantum leap. And he says something, we need to assess our finances when we engage in expenditure. And he says something about if you have a problem, economic problem, you see an economics. If you have a psychological problem, you consult Associate Professor of Clinical Stroke Cardiac Psychology and Mental Health. Thank you.
Let's go to the contributions, comments, and questions.
Okay.
We'll take questions first.
Okay, sir. Yeah, prior directive chairman, let us take some questions. Chairman said we should take some questions. If you have questions.
Microphone to Professor
Mekezono.
Make a contribution.
To make a contribution, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman. Just if you insist, I must talk. Just a brief intervention. Actually, the situation has become so bad. I know in the late 80s, Babangida said that Nigeria had defined all known economic laws, and that he doesn't know why the economy has not collapsed. And finally, we are there. We have collapsed. Please, I want to, this brief advice is to students. These are perilous times. Everybody is trying to survive. Our concern now...
Please, those who are packaging things there should just calm down. Just hold on a moment, please. So that you can hear you, please.
Our concern now is to face the basic needs of life, which is food, water, shelter, clothing, and of course, medically necessary health care. One common thing people do nowadays, especially students, is to go for fast food, roadside food, because it's cheaper to buy them than to go and cook. Please, I want to advise you so that in a bid to buy foods that are cheap, you don't buy foods that will destroy your health. There are a lot of sharp practices you have to be wary of, and I will give you some of them. If you belong to those who eat outside, be very, very careful. Most hoteliers and restaurateurs use paracetamol to cook their meat. Paracetamol is a catalyst in cooking meat. It is even faster than using akam saltpeter. So they use it to cook their meat faster and then to save energy. So you have to be very, very careful. Then those people who do roadside frying of foods, you have to be very careful again. That's another source of poison. Usually, when they fry, they use the same oil over, and of course, you know when they are doing, because you see it foaming. Most of the time, if you have used oil for frying 2-3 times, the next thing is that when it cools, it congeals. So to avoid the oil congealing, they usually put transformer oil, which is another terrible thing. Yeah, I'm telling you, these are studies we've done. They put transformer oil so that the oil will never congeal. Transformer oil is poisonous, it's cancerous. So you have to be watchful about where you buy food. Some of these, what do you call it? Plantain chips you see along the roads that are crispy. Also be very careful, because what some of them do is they get waterproof, melt it in oil, and use it to fry plantain so that those plantain will be strong and crispy. You have to be very, very careful. And of course, there are a lot of other terrible things. So I will want to advise the students, as much as possible, you can cook in groups. It is easier to contribute money, go to the market, buy some other things, cook, and then divide and eat. It is safer. And at the long run, it is also cheaper. And also, for those of us who are working, I think the susu is becoming a very important thing now. Now that money is virtually of no value, you can form groups, raise money every month, and give to one person, and you can at least you use it for something tangible. Next time, it gets to another person. And you can also buy foods in group. It is no longer time to maintain frivolities. I have 3 cars in my house, and they use batteries. I have my generator. I traveled sometime, I was away for 3 months, came back, and I discovered that all the batteries were gone. So now I have only 2 batteries in my house, because I realized actually, do I need all these 4 batteries? If any day I think I can afford money to buy diesel, I don't think I've used that genset in the last 3-4 months. But if there is the need, I just go and move the battery in my car, start it, and at the end I return it. But in the past, I used to have a dedicated battery to it. Then the cars, I have 2 batteries because my wife uses one and I use the other one. If there is the need to move the other car, what I do, I use this 1 week, I move the battery to another one, I use this 1 week. These ways we will try to survive. God will see us through. There's no way we will not survive this period. But the most important thing is that we have to find any means of surviving, so that in a bid to manage things, we don't create health problems for ourselves. I'm more particular about the students, because I see a lot of them, along the roads. It's cheap for them. But at the end of the day, you have to be wary about what you are actually eating. Please, that's very important. Thank you so much.
My chairman.
Thank you, Professor. Let's take a question from Professor Godwin on, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the permission to say one or two things. I want to commend the Dean and all those who put this event together. And the presenter, Professor Uche Collins, for putting up this topical issue that is impacting all of us. I want us to know that hardship is generational. It did not start today. It started from creation of man. And that may be why Cain killed Abel. hardship and suffering did not start today. And so at every age, you devise a measure of survival on navigating out of difficulty. I want to briefly take this topic from a different perspective. The root causes of what we are going through. It is from epistemological colonization perspective, maybe to enrich what he has said. Colonization of knowledge from the time we were colonized, and that led to mental poverty. So poverty is also an inbuilt thing. When Professor Humphrey Mosu introduced option A4, he reincarnated what Aristotle said in ancient of times. A little to the right and a little to the left. If the brain cannot manage the physical will deteriorate. And our brain was so colonized that we cannot even manage ourselves. And it is because of that we cannot manage our economy. Our definition of what is right and wrong, the template of what is right and wrong was given to us, and we swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. Let me just ask one particular question. Why is it that when you see a girl and marry that girl, you go to their people and do traditional wedding? After the traditional wedding, instead of stopping there to save their fund, to save whatever you have, you go again and I start preparing for white wedding. Is it not mental colonialism? Have you seen a Briton or an American, after doing traditional wedding, the person will come and do African wedding to please Africans? But to do our own, to please those that brought Christianity to us, who are no longer Christians. That mental slavery is part of what we are passing through. They brought the IMF template given by World Bank. IMF and World Bank, they work hand in hand, telling us to devalue the Naira, that the state should withdraw from rendering services. They call it minimal governance, minimization, and what we call in political science the kind of thing we're talking about in new public management. And government is becoming irrelevant. You provide the education, you provide their water, you provide the electricity, you build their roads, you provide their own security. And what is government doing? To take our common wealth and share among themselves, therefore putting all of us into perpetual poverty. This is the root of our problem. The one thing we have to fold our hands. No, we have to regulate of it. And the idea we start thinking of Africa, thinking of ourselves, looking at the world from our own prison, not from the Western perspective, then we have started changing. It is a problem. Why do we make English language compulsory? I was talking in one forum that English language should be removed as a compulsory subject. And now, if you have a child, he said, my child doesn't understand English, and he speaks only English, and he becomes a status symbol. There's no country in the world that has developed with foreign language. No country. Tell me, is it China? Is it Indonesia? Is it America? Is it Britain? Is it Japan or Germany or France? But we are battling to England of what we were given. What they call white, we call white. What they call black, we call black. When they tell us that 2/4 is 1/2, we accept. And this is Genesis of our God. And we have different cultural backgrounds. And that is why democracy has been collapsed. What works here is not working here. What makes me laugh? When the brother talks, I can smile. But when the brother talks in England, I'm start looking at him, he's mentally alright. I was in France. I entered a lift. Somebody, 2 young guys were coming in. They took my hand to stop the lift. And as they entered, they said, I said, sorry. He asked me, are you mentally okay? What do you mean by sorry? Sorry for what? I didn't talk again because somebody will give me a slap. So it is as bad as that. So epistemic colonization of knowledge is the root cause of our problems. And that was strengthened by Christian ethics. If you go to England, and many of the churches are used as restaurants. The rest are used to Muslims as mosques. And we are now the evangelists, where the people now sending message of Christ and God to them. So, another thing I want to say is that survival and navigating out of poverty has there's positive survival, there's negative survival. Those ones that don't are likely to straight every night to survive. That is a typical example of negative survival. There are others that will not go there and they do things that fall within the framework of our culture and understanding. That is a positive survival. This is my 20 years as a professor. Since I started government work, I found every year. Chair, say something about that. I came back yesterday for my farm. It doesn't make me not to achieve what I want to achieve academically. When I finish in the daytime farming, in the night I go back to my computer and start doing my work. It doesn't stop me from being digitally oriented. It doesn't stop me from reading. It doesn't make me a local man or a local person. It doesn't make me not to know what is happening. I've tried to travel to 130 countries in this world. I still farm. So don't call yourself a local person by touching something that will destroy your hand. It is a survival strategy. So don't adopt the positive one, drop the negative one. Don't say you are wanting to survive. There are digital networks all over the place. Now there's content creation all over the place. A lot of people make money out of content creation. With your phone, instead of chatting on WhatsApp, spending 90% of your time chatting. You can use that phone to develop an app and market yourself and make money. You go when you work, just 2 minutes I finish. So I just want to diversify this discussion. So don't waste your time chatting. Watching video and films. Think out of the box and see what you can make out of the World Wide Web. They are there for you. There are free websites, there are free apps, there are free tools all over the place. Then skill acquisition. When I was coming back to it, I saw some of my students who were building houses. They are students of architecture and engineering. They take out their time doing their houses and join local builders and make money and survive. So try and survive. In my house, I don't buy them in the market. I don't buy them in the market. I don't buy, the only thing I buy from the market It's rice that I can't do it. I don't buy any vegetable from the market. Only very few. I plant them. If you have a small house, I wonder, because this survival thing, there's one for men, one for women. My colleagues I'm talking to, if you have half plot of land in your village, why do you leave it dormant? Why not go there and do something and come back here? And women, you manage your house. The little thing that you have, you manage it and rationalize it. Okay, I think I'll look at it, money, you get a West survival. So I want to implore you to engage in skill acquisition anywhere it exists. During holidays, I've registered my children at the ICT Academy. During holidays, they will be here. When school resumes, they go back to school. If I don't do that, if I don't manage my economy, those that eat in my house, they do that 10 in number. Morning, afternoon, night. I will not be able to feed them. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Godwin, former rector of Federal Polytechnic.
Let's get some questions from the floor.
Okay, sir.
Yes, some questions from the
Please, before then, sir, permit me to do some recognition, sir. Please, may I crave the audience to recognize Engineer Dr. Martin Abu, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of the Youth and Development. Abu. You're welcome, sir. You are alumnus of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. You're welcome on behalf of the faculty. I welcome you to this grand colloquium. You're welcome, sir. Please, can we take some questions from the audience? Okay. Igwe Professor Hario Deposu, I advise you. Few questions. According to the chairman, he said few questions.
Sorry, my chairman, sir. My name, for distinguished members of the House of Distinguished Colleagues. It's a small comment. There was because it's a colloquium, we have to really talk from different perspectives, but I'm not going to waste your time. I want to thank the presenter. In fact, he spoke like an economic psychologist. Yes, he spoke the way an economic psychologist would speak, not energy psychologist. You see, that is beautiful indeed. And as he was going on, my mind went to Harold Lassie, a guru of political science, who wrote in an area that, okay, let me just paraphrase it so it's easier for me. He said that capitalism in distress is the reason for economic crisis and wars, which indeed curtails freedom. And I recall that somewhere, sometime, this time, someone in metaphysics said that freedom is like love, which must be conquered anew every day. And I remember that one of the greatest economists of yesterday, Kelly, said that one problem that the economists had was always thinking about the long run and things that would waste time. That in the long run, all of us would have been dead. And he said that preferring solutions for today is the better option. That is precisely what psychologists call behavioral therapy. We want to solve the problems that are facing us. And that is what we are trying to do today. We must realize that everything that has been said revolves around freedom. Freedom, choice, and responsibility. Who is responsibility for the policy? Somebody, somewhere, who may be having mental challenges. and because of mental health challenges, cannot administer anything profitably. But he has found himself in the corridors of power and he discharges responsibilities. The freedom for us to choose is God's gift. And if we choose to dispense it wisely, then we make profit. The last speaker talked about marriage and traditional marriage and Christian marriage. You know, Christian marriage is different from white wedding because a white man did not originate Christianity. This is the truth as it is. Even though British and Irish priests brought Christianity to us, it does not also belong to them. So when we make our choices, it makes sense for us to have our values well defined. That is what he said. The values that we have imbibed is the bad component of whether we call it colonization or colonialism or whatever. We look at it as part of mental health challenges, where you can no longer do your proper scale of reference. And that is what he is saying today. From the psychological perspective, it is easier for us to appreciate that values help us to choose right from wrong. And that is why, fundamentally, every student should have to remember the family values they have and the values that the university has when this motto is put across to you as an orientation. The values that National University stands for. Can somebody remind us of that as a student? In the motto of the university, what is that? That is what he is saying. I would have gone on and said something that, but I know that another day like this will come, but we'll have more time. I just want to let us know that this paper is a paper you take home, take it seriously. And between now and the next colloquium, discuss it at different departments. That is the essence of what we're doing. When you come to the class, discuss it again. When you meet as NAS, for instance, bring it up and call a lecturer to deal with it. And you see how we can expand it, and it becomes part of what we have said at the issue. Things that will help us work and solve our problems at micro and macro level. Thank you very much indeed.
You have a question there? You have a student there?
You can stay there and ask your question.
Yeah, give a microphone. After that, you come up here.
Good afternoon, professors, associate professors, and my co-lecturers. Yeah. My name is Nampife Shita, Department of Mass Communication. Prof, I'm wanting to ask. This is more of like an observation. Thank you very much for dissecting this topic, but here's what I think. Why does it feel like there is a gendered aspect of communication dissemination in this topic? I was saying maybe Prof just missed this, but then the second professor who came also made emphasis on it. So there are a few things I think. One is, why is there a gendered communication? That's the way the communication. Why is it that some women, this message is the same? The message is one message, but there are different messages for different genders. Your examples, all the examples you gave, you put there was like a label of the kind of thing women are expected to manage this crisis. While there's a sort of labeling that men are expected to solve this crisis. You made it seem as if, and I think at this time, female conduct empirical research, because I think it's time to overturn this notion that men are not. Really, I think it's time to overturn this notion that men are the people who like put the house in check, they bring all the money. Because in most homes, as I have observed, most women rarely take up food issues. And when you talk about food issues are like the most important and expensive part of running a home. So I think the only way to put this to rest is to conduct empirical research to find out if this is really what is happening. And then for students, you realize that in most African Nigerian homes, there are certain expectations that are placed on female children that are not placed on male children. Like even at school level, at undergraduate, female children are expected to make certain contributions to the whole. Either financially, it could be in a way of giving your younger ones clothes, hairs, and all of that puts pressure and expectation. But yet, Prof, in your example, you stated categorically that it is men that suffer and die at once. So women do not go through these problems, they do not suffer and die. Most women are financial breadwinners in their homes. But yes, in recent times, and that's why I'm saying that the only way to put this to rest is probably to conduct an empirical research so that we can let this
what the lady has just said, and it ended by saying there's a need for an empirical research. That's scholarship, you don't know. That's what we're okay. So it's our get issues and find answers to those issues. From the scope, we have raised issues that needs to be interrogated. And in the course of this interrogation, we find which ones are right or wrong. Okay? So that's just let me come here. After you do that, this is my after the nature. There's
the chairman and the chief president. My name is audience, those who are providing entertainment, please, don't be quiet, please. Don't forget your perspective about the problem what was that where we are today. Based on concern, I was expecting to hear your perspective about the current PLS price and what has brought us down to this level where we are. And so, also your perspective about building of local refineries and multi-refineries as what will help us come out of this problem. Now, another aspect that I want to go in terms of building our world, it's more of an academic topic. I believe that our lecture time lasts between 2 hours or more. But experience has shown me in the last past within this month that in any course of delivering lecture, students tend to collapse in the classes. So I'm asking if it is possible to reduce the lecture time, at least within this period of time, because students can engage in marathon lecture of 6 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours without eating. So when you are now the class person taking them 6, so instead of students collapsing in the classes, as I had just last 2 days ago. So I'm pushing that lecture time to be reduced. Thank you.
This is for what the questions are noted, but they are in mind that there's no way the presidential can exhaust all issues within a very short time period to the issue. Don't get that in mind, okay? And let's try to dwell on the topic that has brought us here for now. Let's dwell on it. Ask questions as to those the topic that has been presented, please. Yeah, the young lady.
Koyeke from Mass Communication Department. The issue of us taking care of our mental health cannot be overemphasized. A lot of people are suffering from anxiety, depression, and trauma as a result of this economic crisis we are facing today. So my question is, sir, what are the effective mental health coping strategies we can adopt to mitigate the psychological impact of economic crisis? And then, how do we integrate these strategies to our personal life to ensure our well-being? Thank you very much.
I think the lecture can relax because you're already behind this one. Yes, so that people can recess.
Well, my answer is very brief. Please, Oba, I don't want to, please, make sure that you know it's there. Generalizing the problem. I like the approach. I'm going to submit it to the empirical information. I really talk as a parent. I have men, I have female as children. And I can say that in training the boys and the girls, I can close my eyes and train my daughters. But my boys are making extra effort to train them. I don't know. So my daughters think so much about me and my problem. But my boys don't think as much. They want me to suffer so much. And I need to know whether the guys try to take care of themselves and their women friends. Why my daughters take care of me? You get the point? So in resilience, the ladies on average are more resilient. Who I'm here studying will come out. You know, this is fundamental. I'm talking about experience. Maybe I experience something like that. That's why we always blame women when the marriage has a problem. The women from our people, I must say, they came out and condemned this issue. That is cheating on me, cheating on me, cheating on me. So that's not a culture. A woman should not bother about men cheating on me, that they hold to. The women from Imo, Anambra, they say the man is cheating on me, cheating on me, cheating on me, and they marry me. I hear about it. Traditionally, they are made, they need to be, they know that polygamy is them. They don't put out, they don't need to be, you know. But for us here, so you see, we are battling with different worldviews, conflicting worldviews. So there's no one card that fits all. If you go down to, if you are research, it's actually to go down to Igbo root, find out the bend, the feeling, the amassing. You talk about cheating on each other, they say they are talking rubbish. But the Igbo, the MP said, the Anambra, they say they are not cheating on the people for them. So you get complicated with that. And that's the reason why in Igbo study, we try to see how our ancestors, survivors, who gave back to survivors, and how the external pressure is coming in to tear the basic thing that makes people survive. Is subject to empirical study. I ain't know about it. I don't have final solution to find out. Now about finance. My dear friend, I'm an energy economist. Sometimes if you see the road that goes into Nigerian economy, you know that it's not in Nigerian economy. People will tell you, and mostly people in the any area of Nigeria, we are being told that Nigeria is almost an extension of the Western country. We felt that this was going to be okay. But shortly after that 70 and 80, I don't know, this now come as if Nigeria never existed. And I'm telling you that the government of the day know what to do to make Nigeria be free. secondary was in Syria when they had problems, and they work for them. We have good lawyers. We have all the policies. You, if I take you to America, you become so wealthy, they give price that you give it. They come back to here. So it's a story of anthropologists and naturalists who believe that maybe the current leaders here, reincarnated from some other place. They are here, but they are not of Nigeria. Those leaders are Nigerian, but they are not, they are called. Otherwise, nobody will tell you that make your place well. So that's what we make that. The solutions are here. Yeah. But they refuse to do what is right. I don't know why. The moral speak, the practical work. So about lecture time, why do we have long time lecture time? We are trying to give everything we have. I want to tell you that the lectures I got around graduate, some graduate students, I've not been able to give it back to my graduate students. If honestly, I was taught more in my undergraduate master and PhD than I'm even able to teach you now. And that's why it's the agony of all the people on the subject. What's happening? So, what is that? You couldn't finish the lecture 45 or 6 and enjoy the combination of lecture. We are trying to give at least 1 half of what we are doing. But you are not able to, okay, see, students are not saying the lecture time is too much. We have to make a late. We are talking about tomorrow. We are handing over to you. We are handing over to the students. And we are not able to hand over and watch that we receive. And the students will hand over don't even understand our agony. So the crisis now is that students are strong. Yes, it is the same government that mess up the whole thing. That's not even able to prepare for the youth that is tomorrow. Do you understand my point? So, if you want us not to lecture, we'll stop lecturing. But we, who are lecturers, we are bringing poison because we are not able to give as much as we receive. Ask our organizers. We are taught, for instance, 1 year in the university, I went 3 times. If I fail one, I will get another one, and I will stop everything. And I will go to manual library and read. But today you can read all the books here. Much more. I will try to give you even as much as you can. The students are complaining. Then you have to stop. So even at that, it is the effort of the past that isn't making what you have at the level. So if we don't do that now, what is going to happen to our children? I cry. So it is our problem, the problem is our problem. So maybe we'll have to have a meeting. We are going to ask what is the problem. We tell you what we see. We tell you what we see. And those who taught us taught more. They gave us everything for us to give you more so we can get it to others. But you are talking about I don't know. But it's not help. Because I have one of those who are so rich, one of my sons restored them master degree in addiction and mental health in Canada. You know, and the essence is that they found now that we are exposed to different kind of environment, pollution, radiation from phone, radiation from films we watch, which has messed us up. All sorts of radiation and all sorts of food, like Oga said, rubbish food. The woman was saying we eat food or we eat product. Then plus wrong peer group stories and nonsense we talk about. Actually, we can have that. So maybe we need to have a dialogue between our students. How do we solve the problem? So that my son told me that Daddy, in Canada, I don't know what's wrong with these white people. They are always on the road, and they don't know where they are running to. Nobody on the speed. Please do come out. Where are you running to? You are running to nowhere. Take it easy. Do your bit. Relax. The world is not going fast. Nowhere. No only bothering about how much money you're going to get. Nowhere. Everybody will not be rich. And those who are rich also die. So I think the cooperative is be yourself. Don't run around to the over. Just be okay. Try to be okay what happened. And if those who want to run life, media will see the company. That will solve. I'm not an expert. How about not the rest of the something? I think I'm saying, let's take it not easy. It's simple. Thank you.
My President knows very well what Professor Abeke is going to advise every one of us there in terms of our bills and the rest of them. And we take very special note on Professor Godwin Conwell's dimension. Before we take on the coming of today's lecture, let's hear from Professor Gedemano for 2 minutes. Final one, then take on the coming, please.
My own name is start after this protocol, which I beg to observe. Mr. Chairman, is just one thing that I wasn't to talk actually, but what prompted it was the direction that was followed just speaking. In the institute where I run, we have about 3 lecturers that are teaching from the United States. One of them set out his course outline, and my students almost ran away. Are you listening? The students almost did what? Ran away. They saw the outline they designed, and then they challenged a week. Before you can talk in class for the week, there are about 3 or 4 places you must reach to prepare before the lecture of the week. After the first 1 week, my office was inundated with complaints. Oh, this is not want to kill us. He's teaching us like the US people. And I said, the program you are running is the standard of the US class. So, the problem is that the 12 weeks set out for the lectures, the students will take 6 weeks and keep in their pocket. And then they come back in the next 2 weeks, 6 weeks, and have their lectures packed together. Not that things that are being given are much, not that the number of hours are much, but we can solve this problem, like Prof said, if an interaction can lead to a proper spread of the lecture behavior. That's one. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, I don't stay where there is conflict. I want to appeal to the road. What she actually suggested is a beautiful thing and it's achievable. If we can't achieve it in the faculty, we can achieve it through the institute. Let us take an empirical look into some of these issues. Because, like the chairman said, if an issue is raised, we interrogate it. It may be the export from UNICEF to other parts of the country. Because I was worried when I using the word most. And I said in social sciences, we are always very, very concerned about some of these traits. If you say most, it means that you conducted a study and have taken a higher percentage to arrive at most. If you say many, I won't avoid it. But with the most, let us congratulate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Prof. Let us okay, please, we are now at we have reached the climax of this occasion, and the agenda now is a ceremony which do what we call a ceremony of decorating the lecturer of today's colloquium. And I will call on the chair of the occasion, Chief Sir, the Bisimo, Busio, the Jogos, Hotels and Suits, to the chairman of the occasion, and our dean, His Eminent Professor Collins Okafor to come and do the celebration of decorating the lecturer of today's colloquium in person of Professor UC Wood. Prof, please stand out. May you please stand out for this important ceremony that we wish. This is the climax of this colloquium. It's a solemn moment, very solemn moment of decoration. Prof, the chairman of Ukonga and our dean doing other things extraordinary. He's going to do extraordinary way of decorating with our chairman of Ukonga, the lecturer of today's occasion, Professor UC Wood. Thank you.
And convince that all of us can attest to a very wonderful met this afternoon by Professor Wogo. And to appreciate him, the faculty is decorating the method. That's not easy. It's not easy. So, once more for this very wonderful. I think.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Having said everything, I will just say on behalf of all of us in the Faculty of Social Sciences and as a way of showing our appreciation and recording you in history as the second Faculty Colloquium Lecture Presenter, which was held today, 21st August 2024. To the glory of God, we present to you this medal. We say congratulations to you. Please may we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes. The HODs.
Ezugo, all that him cover all that him.
No, that is okay.
Please, don't go yet. Don't go yet. We are not yet done, okay? Please. Don't leave the hall. Students, I'm admonishing you not to leave the hall, please. The committee. Yeah, please, the committee. The committee group. Come and read the committee, please. The committee group. Dr. Assistant Professor Alex